Am I protecting my peace or just being a cunt?
That's a great question.
Because I think that there's so many people out there who are over therapized. I'm saying this is my idea. I've seen a lot of TikToks about this, and I think it's really interesting because when you're trying to make your own little bubble perfect and amazing, and you're like, I am the best person I can be, sometimes it's quite easy to fall into, okay, well, on that day of your birthday party, I felt quite anxious, so I'm going to protect my peace and I'm not going to come. But then that's not showing up for your friends. So there's this balance of like, yeah, okay, if you're completely fucked crying on the floor, like I get it, like it's quite difficult, but like try and pull yourself out of it if you really can't. You don't have to go, but don't just easily like leave your friends behind because then you're not in the community of the world and you're just stuck in your own bubble.
And you're like, it's kind of like you're not putting into something that you're expecting to take out of.
Yes.
Because they'll just not invite you next time.
Yeah.
And then that sucks.
And even though they'd want to support you in your life, they'd then protect their own peace.
This is it. We're all main characters of our own stories. We're all selfish. We all don't really care about the other person. So if you can create that community of people who do love each other in that little kind of group, then you need to work on it. It's like a marriage. You do have to work on it, both sides. I was full team self-care and put yourself first. But yeah, I started to see that actually that can bring out real monsters in people. And actually sometimes I'm going to protect my own peace and you can fuck off.
Sometimes you do need to. Sometimes I really think it is valuable to cut people out if they're not serving you. That's a different thing. But if you've got these people in your life, like if you guys were having some like crazy life thing happening and I was really stressed because of X, Y, or Z, I still think that we should both be there for each other. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you physically can't. But I'm not talking about those 1% extremisms. I'm talking about like the main part of your life where generally you'll have different buckets of life, but
we're talking, I've invited you out for dinner and you decided to prioritize taking a bath. Like we're talking like you've just gone a bit over, not you're crying on the floor and you're stressed as anything. And actually, you'd like us to turn up for you.
Yeah. And then doing that to you guys all the time, not turning up for you, not doing anything for you, and then I'm having a tough time, how can I expect you to be there for me? And I think that it is a give and take thing. It's that village versus villager thing that I think we've spoken about before. But I saw that and was like, oh my God, obviously. Like, how are you going to have that village that everyone talks about if you're not a villager? You need to give to the rest of your community to be able to get anything out of it. And I think that's so important. And I think that our generation with social media and COVID, to be honest, COVID kind of, I mean, for some people it really helped them because they'd be helping their neighbours, but others were just in their own bubble and were like, oh, I'm so scared, understandably, that then you break out of that loop of being in the community. Sorry for the interruption. We're really trying to get to 500 subscribers. So if you're enjoying this content, then please do subscribe. If you have anything you want us to talk about, then comment down below. Otherwise, we'll go back to the video. Bye.
Yeah. And when you say like over therapize, it's not like you've gone and paid for therapy. It's TikTok therapy. Yeah. It's like TikTok
and there
rhetoric.
Is a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference.
It's like, and I understand it, but I see it around me where people have got this like, I am who I am. Like I am valid. I am everything. I am the main character. Like I'm protecting my peace. I'm a bad bitch, like whatever it is. And it's like, actually though, yeah, you are great. Like you are valid. You deserve to be listened to. You deserve whatever, but it is a thing that you work on yourself. Like you can't just be like, I am who I am and fuck you, because like you can recognize that maybe you're not as nice as you could be, or maybe you do need to put yourself out there more for your friends, or maybe you talk about yourself more than you listen to your friends. Like there's this expectation or this presumption on TikTok that's like, I am fucking whatever I am and fuck you if you want me to change.
Hearing, isn't it? It's like, okay, well, I'm me and this is who I want to be. So when I have an idea that actually I should probably be kinder, no, that doesn't actually, you're kind of choosing not to choose that because, you're sort of saying, oh no, I'm a bitch and that's how I am and you can't change me. And it's actually like, well, no, listen to the voice that says, you are a bit of a bitch. Why don't we, work on that and make you a better person?
Yeah. And I've definitely had friendships in the past that I think have been driven, or relationships in the past that I think the breakdown of it has been driven by this rhetoric on TikTok, which is like, I am who I am. And if you don't like that, you can fuck off.
Well, it's very much the like neurodivergency thing as well. And I'm not going against anyone that has issues or overstimulation and all that. Yeah. However, I've seen a lot of things of like,
I am this way because of,
but it doesn't excuse, like, just because you have something that needs to have extra help with, fine, doesn't mean you are able to be mean or difficult or horrible to people. Like, obviously you might have different things that are required. Like, I don't know, allowed to wear headphones, like do this, do that, whatever it may be. But you should still treat everyone with kindness. And I think there is a bit of a disconnect there sometimes.
It's as simple as if you know what you're doing is wrong, then it's wrong. If you don't know, if you honestly have no idea because of maybe...
I see people just like almost like disregarding any assumption or understanding that what they're doing is wrong because they're like, this is who I am. Like, if you don't like it, you can leave.
Yeah, but
like,
what I'm saying is that if they I don't know, they do something wrong, whatever it is, and the person goes to them and goes, I, didn't like the fact that you called me, wank stain or something. Which I don't like, actually, Heather. Could you stop calling me?
I remember that one. So
I don't think I've physically ever said that in my whole life.
But you might go, well, that's just me,
That's what I mean. Like,
but that's the thing, that there has to be an element of
I don't even know if there is because they've been so conditioned to think that the way that I popped out the womb is perfect. And like, I don't want to change. I don't want to change shit about me because I am me and I love me. And self-love is amazing. Self-love is fantastic.
It's gone too far.
But self-love is also betterment. Like, you have to be striving for a better
you love yourself, then you want to be the best version of yourself. When I was younger, my dad used to say to me, like, when I misbehaved, he'd be like, please don't do that or whatever. And he'd be like, I love you so much. I just want everyone else to love you as much as I love you. So he wanted me to present myself as the best version of myself because he's like, I know what an amazing girl you are and I know how fab you are and how well behaved you are. And I just want everyone else to see that. And it's like, if you love yourself, you want to be the best version of yourself and you want to put that out there. But like, there is almost this understanding that's just like, I don't need to change. I don't need to change. I'm fine the way I am. And it's like, actually, like, if you're hurting or upsetting people around you, maybe you're not fine.
It's so interesting though, because like we all come from the generation where those children, actually boys and girls, those children who were obviously told they were perfect from day one, like all the time, no matter what they did. Like even if they had bad behavior, they were still like, oh, it's going through a phase. They usually now as adults have crippling anxiety and like really self-critical of themselves because they've been brought up to be thought that they're brilliant. They've gone into the real world where other people who aren't their mum and dad don't think they're that brilliant.
I don't know. I feel like maybe women turn into anxious messes and men turn into narcissists in that case. Like, that's just a vibe I'm getting. Like, I feel like a lot of men might then go and get a job in JP Morgan and continue to presume that they are the best thing since sliced bread. Whereas women overthinking would then create
Heather,
this...
I wasn't going to be the one to say it.
Wow. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I think it's really interesting that you've got the people who were told they were brilliant as they were growing up and they become a certain type of person. But then I think you have all these people who maybe they weren't told they were great growing up. They then go on education TikTok and go, no, I am fantastic. And it's like, I think you got kind of two different arseholes.
Yeah. And no one's saying that you're not. Like, you need to look at yourself almost like, those star charts where you kind of pull out this, I'm 78% this and I'm 2% that and I'm 94% that. It's like, you can look at yourself like that and be like, I am fab. I am caring. I'm empathetic. I'm this. But also I can be self-indulgent and I can be this and I can be that.
Understanding your flaws.
So it's important to understand that like you can work on yourself. And for a friend to come to you and say, I'm feeling like this because of something you've done. It's not like, okay, well, that's the way I am. So this isn't going to work.
Even consider it.
And I've had relationships in my past where they've been like that and been like, well, I'm protecting my peace out. And it's like, but like, you're just going to continue going through life not wanting to hear what anyone else has got to say about you.
The person who says, I'm protecting my peach, protect the peach. The person who says, I'm protecting my peace, I guarantee you they're chasing some fuckboy who keeps fucking them over.
Yeah, stuck on the hook, breadcrumbing.
Yeah, I bet you. And they're like, no, girl, I'm protecting my peace. It's like, really? Because you keep shagging your ex.
And protecting your peace is important and self-care is important and self-love is important. But
it's just also a line, isn't there?
It's also important to know that you're not the best thing that ever happened to the world and that you have things that need improving.
I'm not?
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry.
Dot's world is shattered around her.
Like, it's important. I think my main thing in like friends, family and partners is kindness. And you're very similar, like you've said about smiley. Like when you're looking for a partner, you're looking for someone that's smiley.
Yeah.
So
bloody Tinder and Bumble, everyone was like,
holding a fish.
Yeah, holding a fish. I mean, they were always smiling when they were holding the fish, at least.
That's slimy. You were looking for smiley.
Yes, I was looking for
And
smiley.
to be honest with you, even if I have a friend that maybe like talks about themselves a bit too much, or like maybe like I always think about the radiator and the drain thing a lot, because I know I can be a drain, and that really bothers me because I try and phrase things. My New Year's resolution for 2 years has been be more positive, and I haven't managed to do it. Like someone says, "How are you?" and I'm like, "Well, actually, this blah 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 blah," and it's like, imagine just having something good to say. And I don't know if it's because I've had a hard few months with everything.
This is the thing though, because it goes back and forth. So I think that you go through different parts of your life being a radiator or a drain, and you need to be able to be there for the people either way.
And it's hard to, I feel like being a radiator is all well and good, but then you just sound like you're boasting. But I hate leaving situations and thinking I've been a drain in that situation. And with friendships, you've got to be able to kind of like give and be that radiator and help your friends. But what I can say is that I know that I might be a drain, or I might have like bad news or like sad stuff to say, but like I will morning, noon and night be there for my friends. Like I would crawl out of bed in the middle of the night and go and pick someone up, or be there, or look after them, or hold them when they're crying. And like maybe it's about like love languages in friends, that like your version of being a villager or your version of the village, like it needs to align.
True.
Do you know what I mean? That like,
absolutely.
If your person that you're with, you're like, okay, I don't mind that they might talk about themselves slightly more than I do, because I like to listen, but what I need in a person is I need someone that's there for me when I'm crying. And it's like, well, that friendship works because you're giving them what they need and they're giving you what they need. But you might also have a friendship that like your love languages just don't meet, and therefore you feel like you're both being selfish in the relationship. It's just making sure that it all aligns, because otherwise you can feel like you're being overly selfish, or that person is being overly selfish. And even then, like, it's not your responsibility to make that person feel bad for the fact that they're not like loving you the way you need to be loved. Like, it's just communication. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But I have so many friends that I know would cut someone off because it's just like, they're not protecting my peace. They're not serving me. Like, they're not serving me. I hear that a lot.
That's the problem statement.
Yeah. Because not everyone is there to serve you.
I think that's the issue.
You're there to look after each other. You're there to support each other.
That's the entitlement there, is the idea that you've been put on God's green earth and everyone should look after you and take care
and
of
have
you
no issue with you and think that you're perfect and serve you. And
the world would be a very ugly place if we all actually thought that way.
And I think about it in the way that's like, instead of do they serve me, I think, do I walk away from that interaction every time feeling worse or feeling better? Instead of,
did they
serve
fill you
me?
up, or did they?
Yeah. And it's not about like what they did for me. It's just about, did I have a good time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I feel like I'd rather be at home? Did I feel like maybe, I don't know, there's a girl in my life that when I meet up with her, it's just like, ma. And it's just a bit much. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like it feels exhausting. And maybe like that's not what you want. Do you know what I mean? It's not about whether you're serving them. It's just about whether, do you feel happier or sadder after being with that person? And if you constantly feel sadder, then maybe that's just not the right relationship for you. And again, it's not their problem. It's not for you to say, you're a shit person, I don't want to be friends with you anymore, or you're not serving me. It's just, let's just hang out less. I
have a great trick. I'm basically just a little bit of a bitch to everyone. And then the people who actually want to be my friends stay around.
A little bit of a bitch?
A little bit.
Small.
It's a smidgen of a bitch.
So you're just testing the waters.
Yeah, I test the waters.
See how far you can push them.
Yeah, this is it. And then like if they stick
That's
around,
on purpose, is
they're
it?
nice people. And I'm like, okay, I'll be nice to you now.
So was the other day just an acting act?
Oh no, I was actually just a full-on bitch. And I need to apologise to Frank because I basically shout on his music just because I was really, really unhappy. I'm sorry about that, Frank.
And Frank, you've passed the test.
It was a test. I don't have periods. I just have tests, monthly tests.
Monthly tests for everyone around you to check how well they serve you.
You gave me your Spotify access, so yes, you passed.
Fearfully, he was like, take it.
Take it. I'll leave.
You can do it.
Franklin didn't speak to me the rest of the day. Like, I need to be careful.
Watch out around top.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah, and you can also be a village or a villager depending on the time of the month.
Yeah. Or a radiator or a drain, depending on the time.
Depending on the time of the month.
Or a bitch or an arsehole, depending on the time of the month.
But men, you're not allowed to do
woman.
that. Only women are allowed to do that. I will only give women that leeway.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, if you enjoyed this episode, please do let us know. If you have any questions, then leave them down in the comments. And otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye.